I'm the Sneaky Dragon, and I got to 112th place, Sableye, in the entire world in Pokemon Pocket ranked on the ladder. I already made it to Master Ball, and I'm going to tell you exactly what I did to get there. We're going to go over all the decks that people are playing on the ladder right now, what works, what doesn't, what to play at different tiers. I'll put over here my win rate through Ultra Ball 3 and 4 and some of the win streaks so you could just get an idea of how crazy my deck was. But before we go into my deck, let's talk about what everyone else is playing. Here we go. So starting off with the deck that everyone wanted to build the second this set came out, right? This was Solgaleo and Skarmory. I don't recommend it. This deck is good, don't get me wrong. You can climb through rank using this deck, and if you're below Ultra Ball 3, I actually think you should play it. It's a strong deck, it beats a lot of options. But when you start getting into Ultra Ball 3, 4, I kind of felt like the deck was a coin flip. Like it would win maybe a little more than 50% of the time. One problem is that Solgaleo really does suffer when it damages itself from its attack, and it can go down to bigger threats. The deck can also brick, and you're stuck with Cosmog, and it never evolves. That happens a lot. I recommend switching out Skarmory for Magearna, at least one. Maybe even get rid of both Skarmorys. One of the reasons that the Skarmorys make the deck struggle is because you're using a lot of cards to get Solgaleo online, and then the Skarmorys need like 4 tools for them to consistently get their tool-boosted attack, the 50 damage. The problem is, that doesn't leave you a lot of room for extra tech like Sabrina, Cyrus, Mars, stuff that you need to beat the other decks. So I don't recommend playing this deck unless you're below Ultra Ball 3, I want to say. But it can be fun. I have seen a few in and near Masters. It is a good deck. I just don't like it. Another thing that people are doing is they're playing Meow variants, right? Meowscarada Plus. So Meowscarada Plus Magneton, Meowscarada Plus Tsareena, and Meowscarada Plus Beedrill. The one I think is the best is just the one from last season, Meowscarada plus Magnemite, Magnezone, Magneton. This deck can brick, it will brick, but you'll still win a bunch of games. I've seen some people play this in Masters. It works, and there's a reason that it was popular last season. It's still good. If you're fighting a lot of like Giratina decks or big EX decks, definitely play this. But if you're not fighting a lot of decks that this is good against, consider swapping out for something else. I actually really like the Beedrill version of this deck, kind of like around Ultra Ball 3. It can be really surprising with Rare Candy, boosting the early evolution of either Beedrill or Meowscarada. It's pretty good, and I do recommend the Meow variants, but don't play Tsareena. Tsareena's bad. I'm sorry, it's just bad. You flip too many coins, it's inconsistent, its average damage is not that high. The whole point of it is, oh my goodness, if I get this turn 3 with Rare Candy, I could do 150 damage possibly. But that doesn't happen often enough. I don't recommend Tsareena, instead I recommend the other Meow variants. Wishiwashi doesn't work because Oricorio exists and just walls it. End of conversation. Oricorio decks, speaking of which, are fantastic, but there are so many of them that I can't possibly tell you what to put in it. I've seen a deck with Oricorio plus the 150 damage Pikachu EX plus Pachirisus plus Tapu Koko. Tapu Koko is particularly good with Oricorio because you can damage an EX Pokemon and then Volt Switch into Oricorio to wall, and then you could just keep doing that back and forth. Tapu Koko, Oricorio, and just shut down entire decks. I will warn you that Oricorio decks can lose to Giratina Darkrai. If you haven't seen my video on the topic, we prove that even a deck with pure 3 Oricorios, even a deck running 3 Oricorios, using Celestial Elder to revive one from the discard pile, could still lose to Giratina Darkrai. So I recommend that you don't just assume you're going to win if you're fighting EX Pokemon. You still have to use strategy and tactics, but it is a fun and good deck. The Rockruff plus Rampardos deck is amazing. You very quickly get to evolve it to like the night scary form, right, of the Wolf Rock, whose name I'm forgetting. And it does 100 damage if the opponent has more health than you, 50 if they don't, for just 2 energy. It's great. And meanwhile, while that's attacking, you play your Fossil, you Rare Candy it into Rampardos, and you just destroy everything. It's a really good deck. I think it falls off somewhere around Master Ball, but it's a fantastic deck for Ultra Ball 3, Ultra Ball 4. And just be advised that people are getting used to it and have started coming up with counters for it. So if you're having a lot of trouble, try running something else for a little bit, but it is a great deck that should get you, at the very least, through to Ultra Ball 3. Rayquaza Manaphy decks are not that popular. I don't recommend playing them. I know it's like the promo series and everything. They're trying to get us to play Rayquaza Manaphy, but don't play Rayquaza Manaphy. It's just not that good. There's not much else to say about it. Lunala decks are a little bit more rare. I only fought one of them, and it was in Masters, and it was really good. I think they did beat me. Lunala uses Giratina to get lots of energy and send that energy to Mewtwo, or itself, and then just wipe you off the map. It's a pretty crazy deck, and it kicked my butt. I recommend trying it and checking it out. I think it's good at all tiers, even in Masters. Finally, let's talk about the deck that I'm running. The deck that gave me 112 in the world, and would have gotten me top 100 in the world if not for some really bad mirror matches in Masters where my opponent just got Professor Oaks and my Professor Oaks were on the bottom of the deck. That happened 3 times. 3 times it happened. I blame Sableye. No, I'm serious. Every time I was about to fight, I was like, okay, Sableye, make sure I have good RNG. And Sableye was like, yeah, Sableye. And then my opponents drew all the Oaks, and I drew no Oaks. So, given the huge variety of new cards with the innovations like Rare Candy and Guzmas, and the fact that Oricorio exists and we need to play around that, I decided to ignore all of that and play Giratina Darkrai. Whoa, easy with the tomatoes. Okay, no, hear me out. I wasn't able to play Giratina Darkrai in the first season of Ranked because I didn't have a Giratina. As a free-to-play player, I never drew one, and I wanted to save my, free shop Giratina until I got the first one, and I never got the first one, so I never had 2, so I could never run the deck. I decided to just give it a try in this ranked season, because I felt like when I put out this video on Power Creep, trying to explain why Giratina and Darkrai were so polarizing, and why the increasing 20 damage mattered so much, people didn't believe me. But I was like, wait, no, I'm right about this. But I don't think I explained it as well as I could have in that video. The reason that Giratina Darkrai is still good and still dominating the meta, I'm serious, Masterball is full of just Giratina Darkrai and things built to counter it. It's just like last season. For everyone who asked me what I was running, this is why I didn't tell you. I didn't want to spread this out into the world until I was sure that other people knew about it, and so it wasn't my fault. The reason that it's good is because Giratina plus Darkrai plus Red and/or Rocky Helmet do some combination of 170 to 190 damage. Ain't nothing living that. They're basic Pokemon, so you could run it with as many supporters as you want. Is Oricorio a problem? No, I've proved it's not, if you haven't seen that video. And also, I've beaten so many Oricorios with my Giratina Darkrai, it's not even funny. On top of that, Giratina Darkrai decks, as you can see from the person I'm fighting, can just run Oricorio to wall other Giratina Darkrai decks. It's super common. Almost all of the Giratina Darkrai decks in Masters are running one copy of Oricorio to defeat the other Giratina Darkrai decks. But there is hope. While I am convinced that Giratina Darkrai will remain relevant this season, and it is currently one of the top decks. I'm serious, it was like all I was fighting while I was getting close to the top 100. Maybe, I recorded those games. Maybe I'll put them in another video. Let me know down in the comments if you want to see those games. Not even Solgaleo survives this thing. I stomp on Solgaleo decks with Giratina Darkrai. I stomp on Oricorio decks with Giratina Darkrai. But some things still give me trouble. I had a lot of trouble with the Lunala deck, which, to be fair, also runs Giratina. I have trouble with Meow decks sometimes. I was beaten by Rampardos Rush a few times. I do think there are a lot of unexplored cards that are still pretty good. What I can say is don't run Decidueye. Infernape is kind of okay. You can run some Infernape Zard stuff and it's okay, but I didn't see any of that in Masters. Not really. It can brick is the problem. But if you want to follow in my footsteps and get to Masters and day 1 of Ranked, I guess day 2 now, run Giratina Darkrai before everybody else figures it out. No one is running it in Ultra Ball right now. I didn't see any in Ultra Ball. I was just stomping my way through Ultra Ball, merrily laughing. Hurry, before everyone watches this video and copies me. That's all for now. I hope you enjoyed this. This has been the Sneaky Dragon. Now that I'm like a Master Ball player, apparently I will probably do streams where I try out decks and see if they work, somewhere around Ultra Ball 4 or Master Ball, depending on how badly I lose on any given day. And if you want to see my foray to the top 100 where I almost made it in all of the games, there were like 7 games where I was like fighting for it back and forth, let me know and I'll put that in a video. That's all for now, and I'll catch you later.